Right.
All right, good morning, everyone. Formally, I've started the recording. For this period, we will begin with our first three presenters before we listen to Dr. Zhang and his presentation on China. So to start off the session one for China in the Pacific, is China security threat to states in the Pacific? We have a representative from Group 1, and Ms. Deborah Kuradal will open the session with the answer to the question assigned to Group 1. Deborah, please go ahead.
Just a minute. Something is wrong with my laptop.
No worries, go ahead and sort out the technical issue.
My laptop is, I don't know what happened. Sorry guys for taking your time. Just so good morning, everyone. I apologize for the inconvenience. I will be presenting on behalf of my group, which is Group 1, on the question, according to ODOUT, why do some analysts argue that the Belt and Road Initiative in PNG will lead to Beijing entrapping the country in unsustainable debt? Before I go on to my presentation, I would like to identify some of the key terms in this question: Belt and Road Initiatives. A Belt and Road Initiative is a global infrastructure development strategy initiated by China, aiming to enhance regional connectivity and promote economic cooperation across Asia, Africa, and Europe. Entrapping is capturing or trapping someone or something in a situation from which it is difficult to escape. And unsustainable levels of debt is borrowing money at a rate that cannot be feasibly repaid, potentially leading to financial instability or crisis. So in essence, the question is asking why some experts argue that PNG's involvement in China's BRI could lead to China trapping the country in excessive debt that it cannot sustain. Coming back to my points. According to Sarah O'Dowd, in chapter 13 of the article, The China Alternative, some analysts argue that the Belt and Road Initiative in PNG will lead to Beijing entrapping the country in unsustainable levels of debt because of these following reasons. Firstly, high debt dependency. The analysts point out that the large infrastructure projects funded by China in PNG, such as roads, ports, and telecommunications networks, which often come with high price tags and long repayment periods, could burden PNG with significant debt obligations, especially if the projects fail to generate sufficient economic returns to cover the cost. An example of this kind of project is the Critical Highlands Highway and the Exim Bank respectfully funded the energy infrastructure project in the national power grid system in Western and Southern Highlands province. Secondly, terms and conditions of the loan. Analysts argue that Chinese loans lack transparency and accountability in the BRI agreement between PNG and China. O'Dowd highlighted that there is substantial certainty regarding PNG's financial reliance on China due to confusion between Chinese investment and debt in PNG, as well as a lack of year-on-year official data. The shadiness of this agreement agreements makes it difficult to assess the true financial implications of these agreements or deals, hence raises questions of the terms and conditions of the concessional loans. Sorry. For example, according to an article titled At the Edge of the BRI, PNG, published by the Institute of National Affairs in 2022, which presented a clear example of stating that some of these Chinese-funded infrastructure projects are inconsistent in terms of quality and durability, which could mean that it may require additional loans for maintenance, repair, or even replacement. However, to this date, there is little information on those projects like the PMIZ and KSCN, though there had been multiple requests made by Institute of National Affairs. Thirdly, potential risk of debt trap diplomacy. Some analysts suggest that the BRI projects in PNG may not always prioritize a country's actual development needs. Instead, they argue that China's primary motivation may be to advance its own strategic interests, such as gaining access to Papua New Guinea's natural resources or expanding its influence on the region. In the region, as a result, investments may not always align with PNG's long-term economic priorities, potentially exacerbating their sustainability concerns. For example, PNG's constitution supports right to information. However, projects like PMIZ have little information about that project that is available to the public. This is a clear work of China's strategic influence at play. Because PNG owes a lot of money to China, it is obvious they persuaded government to overlook the constitutional right to information. Moreover, ODOUT specify that unfair distribution of resources among countries or organizations due to high influx of Chinese investments through Belt and Road investments could disrupt PNG's economy by creating imbalance in local markets, which ultimately could further worsen the country's debt and hinder its long-term economic development. So in summary, the analyst argues that Papua New Guinea, like other Pacific nations, requires substantial infrastructure funding, which the Belt and Road Initiative could potentially offer. However, the BRI introduces various risks to PNG's economy and governance that have not received enough attention in current discussion, which often concentrate on the debt trap diplomacy theory. PNG's capacity to benefit from the development opportunities of the Belt and Road initiatives will hinge on the competence of Chinese contractors engaged and the effectiveness of PNG officials overseeing the projects. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Group 1, for sharing with us your answer to the question related to ODOUT's article or chapter in the book, China Alternative. We now move on to Naomi. Naomi and your group, please. The floor is yours.
All right. Can you guys hear me? All right. First of all, good morning, everyone, and Mr. Yagara. As mentioned, I will be representing Group 3 for this session. So our question is, why did ODOUT suggest that various institutions are likely to produce different development outcomes for Belt and Road Initiative partner countries such as PNG? So just like every other concept, we have to first understand the main part of the concept. So for this is the BRI. So what is the BRI? The BRI, or the Belt and Road Initiative, is a Chinese government project which is wholly funded and implemented by the Chinese government. They have the aim to connect the world through infrastructure such as roads, bridges, railways, and airports, etc. So PNG joined the BRI in 2018 during the reign of the then Prime Minister Peter O'Neill, and has since then benefited so much from China. A few examples of the BRI efforts in PNG include the Pacific Maritime Industrial Zone, or as mentioned by my colleague, and the Kumul Submarine Cable Network. So why did ODOUT suggest that different institutions are likely to produce different outcomes? or different development outcomes for the Belt and Road Initiative partner countries like PNG. So the Belt and Road Initiative is implemented by different Chinese agencies. And these different agencies, such as banks and state-owned enterprises, they have their own understanding of the goals and directives of the BRI, and they are different from each other. As such, these goals and objectives can be political or commercial interests and can sometimes collide. This can cause varying outcomes for countries such as PNG. Therefore, understanding the differences between Chinese sub-state organizations that are involved in the BRI is a crucial step in predicting how these operate within a country within a country. Nevertheless, the impact of the BRI in PNG depends not only on Chinese institutions, but also on their ability to collaborate with PNG government and local communities for the success of their projects within the country. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thank you very much, Naomi, as well as Deborah, for representing your group and sharing with us information relating to the assigned questions. Group one, do we, not group one, sorry, I think group two, huh? Group two, do we have a representative? Group two. Otherwise, the group two, Ms. Balbe, who's representing your group? If you are undecided, then we can move your presentation to join the other groups at the time that is convenient for all of you, since Friday is graduation and most of you will be participating in the graduation. We'll not have classes on Friday, so officially classes will be cancelled on Friday. So group two, since time is running out, we have about 3 minutes before 10:30, and Dr. Zheng is online or in the meeting or in the waiting room. So we'll stop here and we'll give time to group two to present along with group 4, 5, 6, and 7, or groups 4, 5, 6, and 7. But you people have to decide on a time. What time period is suitable for all of you? So Valerie, you can present together with the other groups. So check your timetable and let me know between now, Monday, up until Thursday, which time period. Only 1 hour. We'll just take 1 hour to go through all 5 presentations and then we'll record the. So there's a suggestion by Ms. Mana, 8 to 9 a.m. Wednesday. 8 to 9 a.m. Wednesday. Yep. I'll leave it to you people to decide, since Dr. Zheng is waiting in the meeting room. So I'll stop the recording now and let you people decide. But Ms. Balbe, together with all the other 4 groups, all of you will present later when we agree on a time slot. So we'll stop here. Thank you, group 1, and thank you, group 3, for sharing with us your answers.